Hey Cougar fans, welcome back to another CUC Track and Field Weekly. I'm joined by assistant track and field coach Malachi Allgood as the team gets ready for their final meet before the NACC Indoor Championships, which come in 2 weeks. You guys traveled to Ripon College last weekend. A couple noticeable finishes for your team, especially in some distance categories and events. You had your 4x400 team finish second, as well as Mauricio Zochateca finishing top 10 in the mile. But let's focus on the 4x400 team first. Haven't really seen a lot of the relay teams placing top 10 this season, but finally you guys starting to get a little bit more out of them. And so for your team to be able to put up a second place finish this past weekend, how does that make you feel?
Honestly, it's great. It's nice to see all of the pieces kind of fall together. You know, all we see are signs, all we see are dollar signs. And just to see them go out there and run and let all of that hard work just culminate into a relay, which is one of the few team events that we have in track and field, is just an amazing feeling both for the coaches and for the athletes.
And you mentioned team events, so 4 other runners having to work all together and everything. How does each of those athletes make sure they prepare to make the team in a better spot for when their name is called and ready for the start of that event?
I think the kind of culture that we have, just the next guy, next girl up, everyone just wants to shine bright like a diamond. And so just making sure that we really keep in mind that it is a team effort, even in a very individualized sport, just talking them through that at every turn.
Now let's flip it over to an individual who performed well, Mauricio Zochateca, top 10 in the mile with a time of 4:40. And this is one thing where we've seen Mauricio. He broke his PR earlier in the year, and he's consistently been sub-5 in the mile. What are you expecting from him, especially this weekend leading up to the indoor championship for the conference?
We're gonna take a little bit of a step back, have him do something a little bit shorter, a little bit quicker. Just kind of want to reset the brain. You know, I think at this point, if Mo got any better, a daily vitamin would take him. And so just making sure he has a positive mindset competitively this weekend at the Margaret Bradley and then next weekend at NACC Indoors is a huge focus.
Well, as you mentioned, getting ready for the Margaret Bradley as we go to the University of Chicago once again, so you're going back down there, second time in the indoor season. What's going to be the final message you send for this team in the finale before the conference championship?
Run fast.
Run fast. That's
Run
it.
fast. You got to run fast sometimes.
I'll put it on a t-shirt right there, Malachi Allgood. Run fast is going to be the message for the CUC track and field team as they get ready for another trip to the University of Chicago this weekend. You can follow along with coverage of that meet at cucougars.com. Once again, thank you to Coach Allgood for joining me. And as always, go Cougars. We'll see you next week.